Morning, everyone. So I'm Jenny. I'll be your guide today. Few things. If you're inside, you just want to make sure that the space around you is clear. Also, if you're like me and you're outside, there might be some sounds. I do have a train that goes by. I live on a farm, so there might be some sounds. Okay. But the point of yoga is to stay centered within chaos. That's what we're training ourselves to do. So let's really connect with that today. If you want, you can have music playing of your own. I'm not going to have any this morning. So we're going to start centering on the breath, and then we'll build from there. Okay, so you start on the breath, and then you do smaller movements into bigger movements, and then you start to flow. And then you kind of go back down into the slower and smaller movements and into stillness. Okay, it's kind of the flow of class. So comfortable seated. So for a lot of people, that's cross-legged, one leg in front of the other, or cross at your ankles. You can also have the legs extended. And if you're weird like me, I like to sit up on my knees, which is hard for a lot of people to do, okay? So the palms can go anywhere on the body or just be placed down by the sides. Release, relax in the abdominal wall. And gently soften the eyelids on top of one another. And begin to breathe in and out through the nose and the mouth. So you want to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth a few times. Just kind of getting rid of anything that's built up internally. We want to start with a new clean slate. Release, let go. And then begin to breathe in and out through the nose. So you'll move into what's called the Ujjayi breath. Now this is the breath you want to use throughout the practice. Keep it going in and out through the nose. Think of the breath being even, steady, and calm. Quieting the mind and the body, bringing the focus to the breath in and out through the nose. Begin to deepen the breath. So picture the breath moving down deep into the belly. Use more of the diaphragm to breathe rather than the chest. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the crown of the head up a little bit. Stack your spine and keep the breath moving into the belly. Let thoughts, sounds, feelings be passerbys. Keep the focus solely on the breath. Prana, life force energy. Bring both hands to heart center. While you're here, you can set an intention for class this morning. So just a little something to carry with you throughout the practice. It can be for you or for someone else. On the next inhale, just gently hold it at the top of the breath. And then release all breath out. Lower the arms back down to the sides or the legs. Keeping the eyes closed, or start to move your head a little bit. So you can look up and down, turn the head side to side. Lower the chest towards, or lower the chin towards the chest. Let the head sway. If you have a healthy neck, you can make a full circle of the head. If you have restrictions, don't do that. And inhale, bring the head to neutral. And do the same thing with the shoulders, a little bit of movement up and down, forward and back. You can do one and the other, or both at the same time. And then get into the wrist, flex and extend. Circle. All while breathing in and out through the nose. So I'm cueing the breath a little bit less than I would in practice, like in person. So just keep breathing on your own. From here, interlace the fingers. Flip the palms forward and just stretch your arms. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up overhead. As if you were looking to the knuckles, lift the chin. And then open the eyes, blink the eyes. Keep the eyes open as the arms flow back down by the sides. And we're going to roll onto our back. So what you want to do, I'll be changing my direction every so often so you can see. To roll down, we're going to place our feet flat. You can use your hands to roll down, or if you want to challenge yourself, grab the back of the legs. So you want your feet and knees hip width apart. You're going to lift the chest and the chin nice and tall. Breathe in through the nose, and as you exhale, pull the navel into the spine. Roll through and round all the way down to the ground, keeping the knees bent and the feet flat. Arms are going to open out wide to T-shape, so you can look side to side. Make sure the wrists are in line with the shoulders, and your spine should be flat, so make sure there's no space. The best you can, you're pulling the navel in. Now, the whole time you're doing yoga, you want to have the navel to spine connection. Okay, so you're holding onto your core. Try to keep your eyes open, breathe in through the nose, exhale, let the knees fall side to side like little windshield wipers. Keeping the head still, following your own breath. You can move fast or slow. The next time the knees fall to the right, let the head fall to the left, and relax your feet. So you don't want to hold tension in the toes. Keep breathing, letting the knees fall to the ground, keeping space in between the knees, so don't let them touch. And inhale to center and over to the other side. Let the head fall to the right, knees to the left. Breathing, that's the only thing that matters is the breath. If the thoughts get too loud, make the breath louder. Come back to center. Walk the feet and knees in together. Flip your palms to the ground and bring the knees in towards the chest. Palms are going to go towards your shin. Hug the elbows into the body. Pull the navel into the spine. Make sure the toes are relaxed. You're going to shake the toes out. Don't crunch them. Inhale, roll the forehead up to the knees. So it's more about peeling the shoulder blades off the ground. And then give yourself a little hug if you can. So don't lift the tailbone off the ground. Press it into the ground. Or at least into your mat, okay? Now keeping the compression in the hips, you want to lower the spine back down, keeping the chin towards your chest, hugging the knees in. Compress, compress. It's uncomfortable. There's a difference between good and bad pain, okay? You need to know that for yourself. Open the arms out to T-shape, palms healing. Turn the legs in and out. Bend and straighten the leg. Now keeping the feet and knees hip width apart, flex the feet up towards the ceiling or the sky. Push the sky away from you and engage above your kneecaps. Slightly tuck the chin in towards the chest. The chin really wants to tilt up when you're on the ground. Try to make sure that's not happening. So this balances hormones. It's also good to let the blood flow the other way. Okay, because we're always standing on our feet. Bring the feet and knees together the best you can. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale. Flip the palms to the ground. Start to lower the legs down. Right. When you get close to the ground, hover and then lower the heels. Lift the arms up overhead. Pop the rib cage off. Reach one arm a little bit higher than the other if you want to flex or point the feet. And then we're going to tuck the chin in towards the chest, slightly bend the knees, and it's like you're reaching your arms forward to grab something. And then we're going to move into tabletop. So for tabletop, you want to be in the middle part of your mat. The wrists are in line with the shoulders, and the knees are in line with the hips. Top to the feet flat, and you're spreading the hands wide away from one another, so you don't want to have the fingers touching. Shift the weight a little bit forward into the fingertips. Then you want to start by dipping the belly and looking up towards the sky, okay? So keep the navel to spine action the whole time, even though you dip the belly. Inhale, move into cow. Exhale, press the mat away, move into cat. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, dip the belly, look up, up, up. And exhale, press the mat away, round all the way up. Take an extra breath here in cat, hollow out, and then come back to tabletop. Lowering down to the forearms. So you want the same connection. Wrist in line with elbow, elbow in line with shoulder. Tucking the right toes or sliding the right leg back. Engage above the kneecap. And then soften the knee, same thing on the left side. Just extend the leg back, engage above the kneecap, and then soften. We're gonna step up to a high plank, but we're gonna stay on our forearm. So one leg back and then the other. The best you can, try to hug the feet together right away so that they're kissing. Now it's important the gaze isn't looking down and it's not lifted up towards the edge of your mat. So you wanna find a sweet spot, more so in line with your nose looking right down. But don't tuck the chin in towards your chest. Planks warm up the front side and back body. Breathe in through the nose as you exhale. Tap your knees to the ground. Untuck your toes. Keep your chest off the ground so the belly button's going to touch. Legs extend back behind you. Shoulders are going down the back. So a lot of the times we're like this here. Okay, so the shoulder blades should feel like they're going into your back pocket. You want the shoulders opening out to the side. And you're trying to start to push your heart forward and slide your arms back. So the best you can, you're hugging the elbows into your rib cage. Press the tops of the feet into the floor, lift the knees off. Lowering the heart to the ground, bring the palms underneath the shoulders now. Inhale, roll the shoulders down the back. So more about engaging the shoulder blades down so you're not in a grasshopper position. Press the tops of the feet into the floor, knees come off, lift the heart. Test it out. Lift the hands off. Are you using your back strength? Lower the palms, lower the chest, tuck the toes. Press the weight forward into the fingertips. And then lift up to a full high plank. Inhale, lift the hips up, send the heart back, move into downward facing dog. You want to pedal out the feet. Shake the head yes. Shake the head no. And when you're ready, find stillness. So I'll talk about alignment. The feet and knees are in line with your hips, about 6 inches. 2 fists. Lift the hips up, engage above your kneecaps. So you can have a slight bend in the knees. Maybe you want to be engaging and lifting the hips up towards the sky. Press the heart to the thighs, roll the shoulders down the back, and keep your ears in line with the biceps. So I might be lifting my head a little bit. That's just so you can hear me. We're going to work on holding it for a second here, okay? Down dog is a resting pose. Look at the ankle bones and breathe. Holding on to the breath makes everything harder, so you have to breathe. Inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up onto the toes, bend your knees. Look to your hands. You're going to walk your feet in about halfway to lower them down and deeply bend your knees. Walk the hands back towards your feet, and we're going to have a little bit of movement here. So your head and neck want to be really loose here, forehead going down to your toes. Keeping a little bit of tension so you can hear me. So you want to just move your body side to side a little bit. Maybe bend and straighten the legs if this feels good. And then deep end, hug the back side of your leg. Tuck the tail, tuck the chin, inhale, round and roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping the chin in towards the chest as long as you can. Now when you get to the top, you just want to roll the shoulders up and down the back. Okay, so I'll just kind of turn forward so you can see. Then we're going to start with sun salutations. Just kind of going into them because it's more vinyasa. That's the flow aspect of it, is flowing into the poses. But I like to explain everything, and plus, I don't know how many of us have been doing yoga during the quarantine, so I don't want anyone getting injured. So we'll take it nice and slow, and we'll build, and we'll get comfortable. The sun is out today, so I'd like to do some sun salutations, okay? So I'm going to keep standing this way. You want your feet and knees as close as they can be together every time you do the sun salutations, okay? You come to the top part of your mat. And at first you start by just kind of lowering the shoulders down your back, reaching the fingertips down the leg, keeping the weight even in the toes, so don't want to be too far forward or too far back in the heels, okay? Now the first forward fold, you're going to bend your knees, okay? So you inhale, lift the arms up overhead, take the gaze with you so you look up to the hands. Exhale, you bend the knees, forward fold. Keep your knees bent. Inhale, halfway lift. So it's about a flat back here. So real quick, open your arms out to T-shape, and from the lower spine to the top of the spine, try to flatten out. Hold the navel in, keep the chin slightly tucked. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look forward, halfway lift. Exhale, keep the gaze where it is. Bend your knees deeply. Step back to a high plank. So deep bend in the knees and step back to a high plank. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale, you soften the knees. You can lift the toes up or they can stay on the ground. Breathe in. Exhale. You start to pull your elbows into the rib cage. Then from there, you go all the way down to the ground, chest, chin or chin, and then chest. Extend the legs far out behind you. Lower the toes to the ground. Press the tops of the feet into the ground, lift the knees off. Shoulders roll down your back. Inhale, lift the heart off the ground, and lift up to about a medium cobra. So we did a baby cobra in the beginning. A medium cobra is pressing the weight a little bit more into the fingertips, but still using the back strength and keeping the elbows nice and bent. Lead with the heart, so push your heart forward. Forward fold on an exhale. Tuck your toes. Press the weight into the hands. Keep your knees down. High plank. Downward facing dog. Now the feet separate, hip width apart. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Bending your right knee, step, slide, scooch. Bring the right foot to the right thumb, high runner's lunge. So I'll talk about alignment so that as we keep flowing through it, this is less of a worry, okay? You want your knee in line with the ankle. So it's a 90-degree angle. The back leg is as straight as it can be, and all 5 toes the whole time are touching the ground, okay? From here, you want to start to lift your chest and stack your shoulders in line with the hips. Exhale, forward fold. Frame the leg, one arm on either side. Press the weight into the hand. Lift the hips up, move to downward facing dog as you exhale. Inhale, bend the left knee, left foot to left thumb, high runner's lunge. Alignment, and then lift the chest and come into more of a balance. Stacking the shoulders in line with the hips. Hinging forward, frame the leg, press the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale up onto the toes, exhale, bend the knees, look in between the hands. Now walk your feet forward like you're on a little tightrope or side by side. Press the weight into the hands because one day you'll be able to do a handstand there. Deep bend in the knees. Now try to straighten the legs for the first time, okay? Inhale, halfway lift with straight legs. Exhale, keep the legs as straight as you can. Forward fold. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, rise all the way up. Look up to your hand. And exhale to Samasthiti. Pose of stillness. Arms lower down by the side. Okay, so we're going to move through it a little bit faster. I'll be doing some things in between, like side bending. The sun salutations will kind of get your heart rate up. Okay, so feet together, arms down by the sides. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold, legs as straight as can be. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, step back to a high plank. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale, lower all the way down through high plank, pulling the elbows back. Tops of the feet flat. Shoulders go down the back. Inhale, rise it up. Try to go into full cobra. Exhale, forward fold. Tuck the toes. Press up, high plank, downward facing dog. Breathe. Right foot to right thumb, high runner's lunge. Now when you get there, right away, lift the chest, arms by the side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Rotate the palms in towards one another and focus on lifting the arms up in line with the shoulders. If you can, look up to the hands or the sky. Hands come down to T shape. Palms rotate to the ground, hinge forward. Lower the left palm, twist up to the right. Square off with the leg, lift the chest. Lower the palm, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward, left foot to left thumb, right away. Lift it up. Press the weight into the feet. Inhale, rise the arms. So it's more of a V shape here. Rotate the palms towards one another. And when you're ready, lift the heart and the gaze a little bit off to the sky. Arms lower to T shape. Rotate the palms, hinge. Right palm down, left arm up, twist. So I mix Hatha in with my Vinyasa. Okay, because I think it's just as important to hold things and use control as it is to flow. Square off with the leg, lift the chest, then lower the palms, step back, downward facing dog. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Inhale up onto the toes. Bend the knees, look in between the hands. Walk or step, one foot and then the other, in between. Deep bend in the knees. We're gonna go for the back sides of the legs here. Hold the chest to your thighs. Shift the weight forward and try to straighten out the legs. Deep bend, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, reverse swan dive, rise. And Samasthiti. We're gonna move a little bit side to side, so I'm just gonna turn forward so you can see. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, you're just gonna start to move your body side to side, so the palms don't have to be touching, they can be here as well. And then you're going to go over to the right side and you're going to lower the right arm to the right leg. Now I want you to activate reaching the right arm down the leg and lifting that left arm nice and long. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, up and over. Lower the left arm. Inhale, rise. Exhale. You're going to lift the heart and the chin. So I'm just changing my direction to where we should be, the front part of our mat. Look up to your hands, lift the hips, and back bend just a little bit. Inhale, lift up, and lower the arms down. So the more you get, more advanced you get with sun salutations, the deeper you can go. The next thing we'll add on is doing a little bit of a back bend. Hence why I just introduced it. Now, when you back bend from your upper back, not this part. Okay, so don't push your hips forward. It's personal preference if you want to do the back bend or not. You can do it both times. When you come up, you'll take a back bend from the reverse swan dive. Okay, so inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Legs are as straight as they can be. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, step back, high plank. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale, come all the way down, flip the feet, cobra, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Tuck the toes, press up, downward facing dog. Breathe in through the nose, out to the mouth. Stepping the right foot forward, high runner's lunge, lift the arms up. From here, you're gonna bend and straighten that back leg a little bit. Find a nice straight leg, flip the palms forward, frame the leg. Stay on tented fingertips, lift the hips. Focus on rotating that back leg down a little bit more to the ground, and you're gonna flex the front foot, that's the right foot, push your hips back and lower the chest towards the right leg. So it's up to you if you want to reach your forehead towards your toes or tuck the chin into the chest a little bit and try to touch your forehead to the knee. One is for the thyroids. The one where you have the chin tucked is more for your thyroid. The other one's more of a stretch. Inhale, lift the chest, come forward. Keep the palms down, frame the legs, step back. Downward facing dog. Same thing on the left side. Left foot forward, lift up right away. Bend and straighten the back leg a few times. So use every muscle when you're doing yoga, especially the mind, okay? So it's important that you're very strong. Hinge forward. Use the right muscles, okay? So we're pushing the floor away from their feet. Lift the hips up a little bit, flex the front foot, and hinge forward. Stay on tented fingertips. So I do more of the thyroid one. The back toes are all rotated towards the ground. Inhale, come forward. Bend the knee, place the palms down, step back. Downward facing dog. Bring the feet from 6 inches apart to the feet together. Inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale, lift and lower. Try to keep the ankles close. Lift and lower. Extending the right leg back. Okay, so you want to stay in downward facing dog. Do not go into a plank here. Lift the hips, lift the right foot. The right foot's going to kick as if there was a wall behind you to kick. Toes stay down to the ground. Lower the right leg, but keep the hips lifted and press the heart to the thighs. Inhale, left leg up. Lower it side by side. Inhale up onto the toes, bend the knees, look in between the hands. Walk, step, or float. Straighten out the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now, reverse swan dive with a back bend if you wish. And Samasthiti. Arms down by the side. So we're going to do Utkatasana. I just keep checking the time because I'm outside. I don't know what time it is. We're going to do Utkatasana next, okay? Now, Utkatasana, you're going to stay just the way you are. The feet are together. It's called awkward chair pose, okay? So I just want to show you from the front, and then I'll do it with you to the side. So when you do Utkatasana, you want to keep your feet together, but more importantly, the knees together. So a lot of times what happens is this, okay? So always a magnet coming in. If you feel weird, you're doing it right. So hands are going to stay at heart center. You're going to breathe in through the nose. And exhale, take a seat back in an invisible chair. So it's like you push your butt back, you bend your knees. Now your chest is a little bit forward from here. Press the thumbs to your heart center, keeping your knees kissing. Lift the chest. Ideally, one day you should have your shoulders in line with the hips, okay? That's what you're working on. Now rise the arms up to V shape and rotate your pinkies so the shoulders go down the back. Exhale, forward fold, straighten out the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, step back, high plank. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale, lower down, move through a flow. Now, if you happen to have Chaturanga Dandasana in your practice, I would like you to hold off on that until I can teach it. Okay, maybe next week I'll talk a little bit more about that. Forward fold. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, high runner's lunge, lift it up. Arms out to T-shape, turning towards your right leg. Lower the right arm to the left leg and lift the left arm up. T-shape arms. Come back. Square off with the leg. Press the palms into the ground, step back. Downward facing dog. Same thing on the left side. Left foot forward, lift it up. T-shape arms. Rotate towards the left leg. Left palm to the back leg. Right arm lifts up. Good. T-shape. Square it off. Hinge forward, step back. Downward facing dog. Lock the feet in together. Inhale, right leg goes back. Relax the foot now and open your hip out. So what you're doing is you're opening the right hip to the right side. Now it's a personal preference if you want to lift the leg up, bend the knee, you can flip the dog. I think today I'm going to hold this. Gets really deep into your hamstring on the left side, okay? So keep pressing your heart to the thighs. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it, okay? Now, wherever you are, you want to come back to squaring off. Rotate your hip back to the ground. Flex the foot, and then lower the foot side by side. Inhale, left leg up. Now, it's strong to start. Just like we did before. You always imprint and then build from there. Relax the toes.
Open the hip out to the left side. You see that difference? And then lift. You can have movement here, bending the knee, flipping the dog. Like I said, I'm just doing a straight leg stretch today. Turn the hip back to the ground. Flex the left foot. Inhale up onto the toes. Bend the knees to the ground. Child's pose. So you could do big toes together, knees out, or feet and knees together. Wherever you are, you want to lengthen your arms forward and then lower the chest down. Breathe. Tucking the chin to the chest, roll up. Tabletop high plank, downward facing dog. Wide-legged downward facing dog. So open the feet out as wide as your mat, or I go off my mat a little bit. Now it's like you're staying in a down dog, right? So you're keeping the hands right over there, but pressing the heart to the thighs. Then from here, deep bend in the knees. Walk your hands back. Deep bend. I can assure you, if you think you're bending, you need to bend more. Now from here, you can start to sway a little bit side to side, maybe straightening the legs just a little bit as you go. You can reach your arms through the legs. You can take malasana. You can do windmill. Just have a little bit of playtime here. Do what feels good. Deep bend in the knees. Inhale, tuck the chin in towards the chest, around and roll up. Good, so when you roll up, your legs will be wide. You want to take goddess or malasana, you just turn out from your hips. Goddess is a wide pose where you keep your knees in line with the ankles a little bit more. Okay. And the malasana is the one where the legs are in and you lower down like this. Ideally, you're supposed to keep the heels on the ground and you do not want to roll forward into the arches. Okay. I'm going to press out and open. Just take a minute or two. You can do headstands here, handstands. Wherever you are, find the way to the ground, but move with intention. So what I do here is I turn my legs in from my hips, I put my hands down, and then from there, I come to the ground. Just have the legs out in front. Kind of remove the flesh from underneath the sit bones. Flex the feet. Arms out to the sides. You want to sit up nice and tall. So really focus on the lower back. And my hamstrings have been really tight during this quarantine. So my knees are going to be slightly bent today. Inhale, arms rise up overhead. Exhale, rotate the palms, forward folds. Inhale, take a halfway lift. So I'm going to grab my toes in a yogi toe lock, 2-piece fingers. You can feel free to grab anywhere. Straighten out the back. From here, try to get the legs a little more engaged. Forward fold. Pull the elbows into your body. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back. Rotate the palms, lift up, and lower the arms down. Shake the legs out, turn the legs in and out. Then bring the feet together, knees out to the side. So from here, we're just going to twist towards the right leg. You can press if you want to down on the left. You should feel a little bit of a stretch coming into the side, maybe the front. Following your own breath, go to the other side. Good, arms out to the side. Try to make sure your spine is stacked. So I found that if I pull my feet too close in, I round my lower spine. And I'm really working on kind of elongating it instead of shortening it and having those muscles hug onto the spine. You might be experiencing the same problems, especially if you've been in quarantine sitting at home. Okay, so the back gets a little tight, and I think it comes mainly from the hamstrings, from like sitting and not being so on the go. So arms out to the side, bend over to either leg, it doesn't matter. Just take a nice side stretch. Push the sit bones into the floor. Now try this. Open your heart a little bit. Inhale, lift up. Go up and over to the left side. Same thing, kind of lift the heart a little bit. Inhale, rise. Guide the knees in together. I'm going to change my direction one more time. So with the knees in, sitting up nice and tall. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Trying to lower down through the spine. Vertebrae by vertebrae, extending the legs out in front of you. Flex the feet. Inhale, the right knee comes in towards the chest. And when you're ready, you're going to try to kick your leg nice and straight. So for a lot of people, it just looks like this. You'd rather have a straight leg here than trying to lift your leg up towards the sky and having your knee bent, because that's not a hamstring stretch. Hamstring stretch is getting the leg completely straight above the knee. If you have a strap, you can always use a strap here. Bend the knee. Take the left palm to the outside of the right leg. Push the right leg up and over the left leg. And open out the arm, the right arm to T-shape. Supine twist. So twists are really cleansing. It wrings out the organs of any toxins. Now, do not pull the knee back into the chest. Let that leg go nice and long to the ground. It might feel like one leg's a little bit longer than the other. That's normal. Flex both feet, left knee in. When you're ready, try to straighten out the leg all the way. Softening the left knee, softening the left foot. Take the right palm to the outside of the leg, push it up and over, and extend the left arm out. So extend that leg nice and long. Bring the knees in towards the chest. You can open up the happy baby here. Just gotta check the time one more time. Good. So, happy babies. It's really important that you try to push the spine into the ground. This one's not feeling great on me today, so I'm not going to do it. If you want, you can do another twist. You can also lift up to shoulder stand, or you could do bridge. I'm going to do bridge today. So eventually that means I'll be lifting up to full wheel, just in case you're looking. Bridge, you press the feet into the ground. The feet and the knees are in line with the hips, just like they were in the beginning of class. Hands on the outside of the body, press through the feet and lift the hips up. Now from here, walk your shoulder blades underneath you, and what I physically do is bring my hands to my lower back and I push. Roll through the spine. Bring the feet together, let the knees open out if you're in bridge. If you're in shoulder stand, you can plow. You can also do ear pressure pose from plow or fish. It's okay if you don't know what those are. Sorry, I can't take too much time to explain it. But I will. I will get there with you guys, okay? Guide the knees in. If you want to do one more bridge, you can. I'm going to do full wheel. So my hands go by my shoulders. I lift. When you're ready, you want to come into final resting pose, okay? So if there's anything else you need, take a second to do it. Otherwise, you're getting into your most comfortable and relaxed position. You're not holding on to tension anywhere in the body. No right or wrong in this today. Usually I guide you a little bit more, but wherever you want to be for your Savasana is fine. Just make sure you're relaxed. So release the abdominal wall. Gently soften the eyelids on top of one another. You want to give yourself this time to relax, to be still, and to really reap the benefits of doing the yoga. It is said a lot of the work happens here in the rest. So give yourself the gift of stillness. And keeping the eyes closed, start to deepen the breath. Do some movements, wrist, ankles, head, elbows, knees. And when you're ready, just roll to the side, any side. Give yourself a hug. Pat yourself on the back. You want to thank yourself for coming. And then press up to comfortable seated. Hands will come to heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide. Namaste.